Welcome to the tale of a delicious adventure in a wonderful land. You can tell it will be delicious. Can't you smell it already? Oh, how I love that gorgeous smell. You've all heard of Cadbury's, Roundtree's, Fry's, Nestle's, Wonka? What's that? You say you don't know what Wonka is? Why, Wonka chocolate, of course. I admit that Willy Wonka's chocolate is fairly new, but it is also the greatest chocolate ever invented. Why, Willy Wonka himself is the most amazing, the most fantastic, the most extraordinary chocolate maker the world has ever seen.
He's invented things like say, well, I'm not going to tell you what he's invented. You came to see for yourself. So, I'll let you do just that. But before I do, I should perhaps fill you in on what's been happening around here lately. Because Mr. Willy Wonka is the best chocolate maker in the whole wide world, 3 other chocolate makers known as Mr. Figglegrubber, Mr. Prodnose, and Mr. Slugworth sent spies to work for Mr. Wonka in order to discover his secrets. Well, they must have been good spies because soon afterwards, these 3 chocolate makers began making delicious Wonka favourites, such as ice cream that never melts, chewing gum that never loses its flavour, and candy balloons that you could blow up to huge sizes before you could pop them with a pin and gobble them up.
Mr. Wonka didn't know what to do. He didn't know who the spies were, and if he continued to operate his factory, all his secrets might be stolen, so he did the only thing he could. He sent all the workers home and closed the factory. You might think that would be the end of Mr. Willy Wonka, but no, sorry, not him. After months and months went by, the factory suddenly began operating again, but nobody knew who was running the place.
Nobody ever went in and nobody ever came out. The only thing anyone could see was shadows dancing around in front of the lighted windows. Mighty strange. Well, anyway, to get back to the story. Soon there was a big article in the town paper saying that Mr. Willy Wonka, in order to sell a lot of candies once again, was running a contest. Yes, sir, that's right, a contest. He had secretly wrapped 5 golden tickets under 5 ordinary candy bars. The candy bars were said to be found in any shop, in any street, in any town, in any country in the world, upon any counter where Wonka's candies are sold. The 5 winners will tour Mr. Wonka's new factory and take home enough chocolate for the rest of their lives. Now that, my friends, is where our story begins.
This is the home of Charlie Bucket. 7 people live here. There are only 2 rooms and only 1 bed, so you can see that life is extremely uncomfortable. These 2 very old people are the father and mother of Mr. Bucket. Their names are Grandpa Joe and Grandma Josephine. And these 2 very old people are the father and mother of Mrs. Bucket. Their names are Grandpa George and Grandma Georgina. The bed was given to the 4 old grandparents because they were so old and tired, and of course they're all over 90 years old. This is Mr. Bucket. This is Mr. Bucket. They and little Charlie Bucket sleep in the other room upon mattresses on the floor. As you know, this can be very cold in the winter time. They can't buy a better house because they don't have any money, and there aren't any better jobs. Mr. Bucket is the only one that can work, and well, he lost his job a few weeks ago. Yes, it's very sad, but you see, the toothpaste factory had to close down. Without Mr. Willy Wonka's factory open, nobody ever got cavities anymore, and well, they didn't buy any toothpaste. And, well, you know how it goes. Oh, wait. Gee, I almost forgot. This is our hero, Charlie Bucket. Charlie's a nice boy. Of course, he's been starving lately. In fact, the whole family has.
You know, I see that 4 children have found the golden ticket. I wonder who the 5th lucky person will be.
I hope it isn't like anyone like that repulsive blue boy.
Or as spoiled as that forever salt girl.
Or as beastly as that bubble popping Violet Beauregard.
Living such a useless life as that TV boy.
You know, it makes you wonder if all children behave like this nowadays, like these brats we've been hearing about.
Of course not. Some do, of course. In fact, quite a lot of them do, but not all.
Now there's only 1 ticket left.
Quite so. And just as sure as I'll be having cabbage soup for supper tomorrow, that ticket will go to some nasty little beast who doesn't deserve it.
I think I know somebody who'd like to find that 5th golden ticket. How about it, Charlie? You love chocolate more than anyone I ever saw.
I sure would, Grandpa Joe. You know, it just about makes me faint as I have to pass Mr. Wonka's factory every day as I go to school. The smell of the chocolate makes me so dreamy that I often fall asleep and bump into Mr. Wonka's fence. But I guess dreams don't come true. Just imagine me imagining that I could win the 5th golden ticket. Why, it's pure imagination.
Well, maybe pure imagination, my boy, but tell that what you see might just come true.
Gee, who really thinks so, Grandpa Joe? Gee, I wonder.
It sure would have been nice if Charlie won that 5th golden ticket.
You mean with that 10p we gave him for his birthday present yesterday?
Yeah, the one we gave him to buy the one piece of candy he gets every year.
Just think how long it took him to save that 10p.
Yes, that really was a shame.
But think of how Charlie enjoys the candy. He just loves Willy Wonka's chocolate.
He didn't really act that disappointed.
No, he didn't.
He didn't act that disappointed because he wouldn't want us to feel sorry for him. And he's a fine boy. I'd do anything for that boy. Why I'd even...
Mum, Dad, Grandpa Joe, Grandpa, you'll never believe it. You'll never believe what happened.
Goodness gracious, Charlie, what happened?
Well, I was walking home and the snow was cold and the wind was blowing and I couldn't see where I was going. And I looked down to protect my face and
Go on, Charlie, what is it?
and there it was lying there in the snow, kind of buried. And I looked around and no one seemed to look as if they lost anything. And so I picked it up. I couldn't believe my eyes.
You found the golden ticket!
No. I found a 50p piece. But, then I thought it wouldn't hurt if I bought a Wonka Winkle Scrumptious for the Bellow Delight, since it wasn't my 50 pence. And I was just so hungry for one.
Yes, go on.
Well, I took off the wrapper slowly and
You found the golden ticket! Charlie found the golden ticket!
I found the 5th golden ticket.
You what?
I really did. I found the 5th golden ticket.
Hooray!
Boy, Grandpa Joe, I sure am glad that Dad let me take you today.
Well, Charlie, I guess he just understands that we understand each other.
Plus, you seem to know all about Willy Wonka, what's happened to him.
Well, he's been an important man in this town for a good long time. Actually, I'm quite excited about this day because, you know, I want to know how he's running the factory and how he's working it.
Talking about the golden ticket, can I read it one more time? I know it sounds silly, but the whole thing seems so magical.
Sure, Charlie. Let me see if I can find it. Ah, here it is.
Let's see now. It says, "Greetings to you, the lucky finder of this golden ticket for Mr. Willy Wonka. I shake you warmly by the hand. Tremendous things are in store for you. Many wonderful surprises await you. For now, I do invite you to come to my factory and be my guest for one whole day. You and all others who are lucky enough to find my golden ticket. I, Willy Wonka, will conduct you around my factory, showing you everything that there is to see. And afterwards, when it is time to leave, you shall be escorted home by a procession of large trucks. Each truck, I can promise you, will be loaded with enough delicious eatables to last you and your entire household for many years. And now, here are your instructions. The day I've chosen for your visit is the 1st day of February. On this day and on no other, you must come to the factory gates at 10 o'clock sharp. Don't be late, and you're allowed to bring with you either one or two members of your own family to make sure you don't get into mischief. And one more thing, be sure to have the sticker with you, otherwise you will not be admitted. Signed, Willy Wonka."
And today's the 5th of February. Why, I guess, Charlie, look, everyone's arriving together.
Welcome. Hello, everyone. Let's see now. I wonder if I can recognise all of you by the pictures of you in the newspaper. Let's see. You're Augustus Group.
Yeah.
Very happy to meet you. You're Violet Beauregard.
So what if I am her? Let's just get on with the whole thing.
And you must be Mrs. Beauregard. Very happy to meet you both. Very happy. You're Veruca Salt.
his hand, Daddy. He's probably all sticky and slimy from working in the factory. He's not important enough for you to bother shaking hands with anyway.
And you must be Mike TV. Enchanted to meet you.
Oh, come on, let's just get this whole thing over and done with. I'm missing my favourite TV show for this.
And we're the TVs. Pleased to meet you.
And you must be the boy who just found the golden ticket yesterday. Congratulations! You're Charlie Bucket, aren't you?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. And this, sir, is my Grandpa Joe. Howdy, Mr. Wonka. Real pleased to meet you.
How do you do, Mr. Grandpa Joe? How do you do? Well, is that everybody? Why, I guess it is. Well, follow me. Our tour is about to begin, but do keep together. I shouldn't like to lose any of you at this stage of the proceedings. Here we are, through this big door, please. It's nice and warm inside. I have to keep it warm because of my workers. Why? They'd perish if they were out here.
But who are these workers?
Be patient, my dear boy. All in good time. Is that everybody? Well, please could you close the door? Thank you. Here we are, everybody. This is the chocolate room. This room is the nerve centre of my whole factory. It's the heart of my entire operation.
But I don't see anything but that old river over there.
Mr. Wonka, what's wrong with the river? It's all brown and muddy looking.
Nothing wrong with it, my boy. Nothing at all. Every drop of that river is pure melted chocolate.
What's that over there? What is it? Why, it's moving. It's walking. Why, it's a person. Down there behind one of the pipes.
Grandpa, can you see them? There are some people.
I see him, Charlie. There's 4 or 5.
Oh my gosh, so there is.
What are they doing?
That's impossible. There are no people in the world as small as that.
No people in the world as small as that? Then let me tell you something. There are more than 3,000 of them in my factory. They are my Oompa Loompas.
Oompa Loompas? What do you mean?
Imported direct from Loompa-land. And oh, what a terrible country it is. Nothing but thick jungles infested by the most dangerous beasts in the world. Hornswogglers and snozzwangers and those terrible, wicked wangdoodles. I found the little Loompas living in tree houses. They dreamed about cocoa beans all night and talked about them all day. It just so happens that the cocoa bean is the very thing from which all chocolate is made. I myself use billions of cocoa beans a week in my factory. I talked to the leader of the tribe in Oompa Loompish and told him that he and his people could have all of the cocoa beans that they wanted if they would just come and work for me and live in my factory. So here they are. They're wonderful workers.
Mummy, Daddy, I've decided I want an Oompa Loompa. I want an Oompa Loompa right away. I want to take it home with me. Daddy, get me an Oompa Loompa.
All right, Veruca, all right, but I can't get it for you this second. Please be patient. I'll see you have one before the day is out.
But I want an Oompa Loompa.
Oh, this stuff is terrific. Oh boy, I need a bucket to drink it properly.
Augustus, please come away. You are dirtying my chocolate.
Well, don't just
Stand there. Do something!
Look, he's getting set closer to one of the pipes.
There he goes! Uh-oh. Okay. Please go to the fudge room and take a stick. When you get there, poke around in the chocolate mixing bowl. He should be there. Don't leave him in there too long, though, or he's liable to be poured into the fudge boiler. And that would be a bit of a disaster, wouldn't it? My fudge would become quite uneatable. Okay. Where next?
This is the Invention Room. It's the most important room in the entire
All my most new and secret inventions are cooking and simmering in here. But now listen to me. I want no touching, no meddling, and no tasting. Is that agreed?
Yes, we won't touch anything.
Everlasting gobstoppers. They're my newest invention. I'm inventing them for children who have very little pocket money. You can put an everlasting gobstopper in your mouth and suck it, and suck it, and suck it, and suck it, and it'll never get any smaller.
It's like gum.
It is not gum. If you try chewing one of these gobstoppers, you break your teeth off. But they taste terrific, and they change colour once a week. Here we go. What's it?
What is it?
Gum. This piece of gum is a fabulous type of gum. It's a 3-course dinner all by itself. This gum just happens to be roast beef, tomato soup, and blueberry pie.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, if you were to put this gum in your mouth and start chewing it, then you would actually taste all of those things, and it fills you up.
That is utterly impossible.
Well, who cares? If it's gum and I can do it, that's for me. Hand it over, and we'll see if this magic gum thing really works.
No, well, let's not do anything silly.
I want gum. What's so silly?
I wouldn't do that if I were you. There's still one or two things
It's delicious.
don't.
Good heavens, girl, what's happening to your nose? It's turning blue. Violet, you're turning violet. You're swelling up. You're glowing all over. The whole room is glowing.
No, it isn't right. You mustn't do it.
I feel most peculiar.
Whoa. Tell the envelopers over there to roll her up and take her straight to the juicing room. Alright, stop here and have a rest, and take a peek through the glass panel of this door, but don't go into the nut room. If you do, you'll disturb the miniature squirrels.
Oh, look, Grandpa, look.
Miniature squirrels!
Miniature squirrels.
They're trained squirrels. I use them to get the nuts out of walnuts.
Why you squirrels?
Nobody can get the nuts out of walnuts in one piece, so I use squirrels instead. Daddy, Mummy, I've decided I want a squirrel.
Don't be silly, sweetheart. These all belong to Mr. Wonka.
But I want a squirrel. At home, I only have 4 cats, 2 dogs, 2 parakeets, 3 canaries, and a bowl of goldfish, and 3 silly me's. I want a squirrel.
All right, Veruca, all right. Wonka, how much do you want for the crazy squirrels? Name
They're
your
not-
price.
They are not for sale. You can't have one. Who says I can't? I'm going to go get me a squirrel this very minute. All right, I'll have you. Oh, look. They're testing her to see if she's a bad nut. Oh, look. Oh, yes. She is a bad nut after all. Her head must have sounded quite hollow.
There she goes.
She's gone.
Now see here, Wonka, I think you've gone a shade too far this time, I do indeed. My daughter's a bit of a frump, I don't mind admitting, but that doesn't mean you can roast her to a crisp.
Now, my dear. So don't be cross. She may not have even gone down the chute at all. She may just be stuck just below the entrance hole. And if that's the case, all you'll have to do is reach in and pull her up again.
Veruca, are you down there?
Oh no, the squirrels have pulled her down too.
Looks like there's going to be a lot of rubbish today.
Here we are. This is the testing room with my latest and greatest invention, television chocolate.
Television chocolate.
Yes. The first time I saw an ordinary television working, I was struck by a tremendous idea. What if a photograph could be broken up into a million tiny pieces, sent whizzing through the air until it hit an antenna, the pieces put back together again, and together on a string? Why can I send a real bar of chocolate whizzing through the together again on the other end, all ready to be eaten. So, can you send a human through? Good heavens. I really don't know. I mean, I suppose you could, but can you? I'm pretty sure I could. Yes, of course I could. Wouldn't like to risk it though. The results could be nasty. See you later, alligator! No.
Mike, no, you'll be turned into a million tiny pieces.
He's gone. Don't worry, not to worry. Watch the screen. He will come through at any moment. Over there. There he is! Quick, grab him!
He's shrunk.
Well, what did you expect? Of course he's going to be shrunk.
I can't take him to school like this. He'll be stepped on.
Well, I could stretch him. You know, small boys are extremely springy and elastic. I have a machine that I use for testing the stretchiness of my chewing gum. Mr. TV, hand these orders to the Oompa Loompas and don't look so worried. Which room shall it be next? Hurry up, we must be going. And how many children are there left now?
Well, I guess it's only Charlie now, Mr. Wonka.
You mean there's only one left?
Why, yes.
Oh, my dear boy, congratulations. That means you've won. Oh, I do congratulate you. I really do. This couldn't be better. I do congratulate you. How wonderful this is. We mustn't dilly, we mustn't dally. Hurry up. We have lots and lots of arranging to do. Just think of the arranging we have to do.
Mr. Wonka, I'm afraid I don't understand what you're talking about.
Oh, do forgive me. I get carried away at times. I forgot you didn't know.
No, what?
Charlie, I love my chocolate factory. Tell me, Charlie, do you love my chocolate factory? Think about this question very carefully, since it is so important about how you feel.
Well, Mr. Wonka, all that I can say is that I've never spent a more fantastic day anywhere in my life. I've been very, very happy. Do I love this factory? Yes. Yes, I think I do. It means a great deal to me.
And why do you ask, Mr. Wonka?
Well, you see, Charlie and the other contestants would of course receive the candy I promised, but I would like Charlie to receive much, much more. You see, this whole day has been a contest to see who would be the right person for the job.
What job?
I'm tired, Charlie. You see, I need someone to run my factory when I'm gone. And that person is you.
Me?
Yes, I would like you, Grandpa Joe, and of course, the rest of your family, to live here, to move here, permanently. I'd like you to run my factory when I'm gone. I have no family, and I can't think of anyone right for the job than you. This will be after I've trained you and taught you everything I know, of course. But you are the right person. I've watched you all day, and you're the type of person that would appreciate and care for this factory like I've done all these years. Will you accept my offer? If you do, everything I own will be yours.
Will I? Wow, this is more than I could ever imagined. Will I? Thank you. This is more than I could ever imagine. Just think of it, Grandpa Joe. Wait until we tell Dad and Mum. It's going to be our chocolate factory, and we're never ever going to starve again. Just think of all that chocolate. Oh, just you wait and see.